Welcome to the April 21st, 2022 edition of BnB Happy Hour. Hope everyone had a great week. Week is almost over. We have a red candle today for Bitcoin and most of the DeFi I'm in. But other than that, it's been a great week. Myron, how's your week?
It's pretty good. Busy at work still, but I think it should be calming down a little bit today. After today, got most of the work done. But yeah, the market. If we start off with the general market a little bit, this. Look, I got a new PFP just for this show. This is how I feel right now about the market.
What is that
That's
PFP you got? Why don't you tell us about
this is what David told me. I think it was a free mint, but I bought it for like 0.05. And I just like the way this guy looks, man. He's so angry. He's so angry at this market and all that's happening right now. But yeah, so the smoky what you pulled up, Bitcoin sold off, but the main thing is like the general market was selling off hard today. If you can pull up SPY, or even like QQQ or any of those.
SPY?
Yeah, SPY. So yesterday I bought so yesterday was, we'll talk about one of the stories today, but so Netflix missed earnings and dropped like 35% yesterday, which is insane for blue chip stock. And Facebook did the same thing a couple months ago. They missed earnings, they had the earnings call and dropped 40%. So it's getting crazy. The market is getting crazy. But yesterday was yesterday was a huge earnings call from Tesla. So I was like, man, I feel like Tesla's gonna miss it. So I bought a QQQ put. But Tesla reported after hours, they beat it. They smashed earnings. So QQQ was going up. I sold my put, lost like $30 on them and whatever. So the market was pumping this morning. So Smokey, if you can toggle from the days to like 30-minute with like an hour just to see the day. So it was pumping in the morning. And then this huge sell-off happens. And it's nonstop. It's like no bounce, just straight up sell-off. So my UVX was down like 50% this morning, and I sold it at 100%. That thing went to 200% profit. So I sold a lot of the stuff. I got puts, but I sold a lot early. I just didn't think it's going to keep dropping like this. So, of course, Bitcoin, unfortunately, since it's tied to the market, it's been selling off too. And this is insane. JPL talked today. I didn't listen. I didn't have time to listen to what he said. But this is a pretty intense sell-off in the SPY. And if you go back to day chart, Smokey, I'll just mention real quick. It can go if you go below, one day. So SPY has been in this range for a long time. Lowest is like 410, and highest went to 460. It's a huge range, but it's going back and forth. Bitcoin is going back and forth. This market is crazy. If you're buying and holding, I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to like trade this market, there's a lot of opportunities, but there's also a lot of opportunity to lose a lot of money. And we just got a new guest coming on, Slacker, Mr. Maverick. What's up, Mr. Maverick?
Mr. Maverick, you made it.
Guys, I apologize. Getting ready for vacation. I have 100 things on my plate. Apologize.
Oh man, we're just glad to have you here. Can
you tell us a little bit about your vacation, your pirate journey?
I'm journeying to a remote island
where you cannot dox your whereabouts.
I'm gonna yes, 7 days. I'm gonna drink my heart content. Bourbon, if they have it.
I'm just curious. Do you guys take this trip right after tax season, or is it not a frequent thing?
Yeah. So actually, our anniversary is right after tax season.
Oh,
so.
Wow.
Naturally, if we're going to celebrate our anniversary in any significant way, that's kind of what we do. Tax season's over and we escape.
Yeah.
So,
what anniversary is this for you?
7.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. Yep. Well, sorry for being late.
Oh yeah, you got here just some time.
Yeah.
We're just about to talk about Elon.
We're just crying about the market before you got here, man.
Who was crying?
Dropping. We're just crying. Look at my new PFP, man. That's my how I feel right now about the whole market.
Oh, no more shirtless moon boy. Oh.
Well, hey, actually, the shirtless moon boy actually applies a lot to today's market, just straight down, man.
Yeah. I'm scared to tell you about what's going on with my stocks, but that's for another time.
The crazy thing is the oil is dropping. You got these like fertilizer inflation stocks, kind of dropping. Grocery stores kind of holding on a little bit, but everything like today is everything just straight up sell off. Man.
I mean, even the mining sector is down by like 8% today. Who would have
dude.
thought, right? Like everything
I know
underperforms all on at the same moment. It kind of stupefies me that happens, right?
Is
Almost
it
like
is it
we're
because this
manipulated.
news Elon? Are we gonna say correlation is causation? Elon released he's gonna buy Twitter, and everyone's like, "I sell this state, everything." But yeah, Smokey, we'll move on to this article.
Yeah, so Elon is a man of the people.
Oh yeah.
So this is the latest on his Twitter takeover attempt. He has secured the financing. A lot of people were fighting him, saying, "Oh, this isn't a serious offer. He's not really going to get the financing." Well, now he does have the financing in the amount of $46 billion. So his next move in this hostile takeover attempt is to make what's called a tender offer, which is an offer directly to the shareholders. So under this strategy, he would try to acquire 51%. I got to say, the media has done like a terrible job explaining like how all this works. And I'm not even 100% sure. Like if he acquires 51%, can he fire the board of directors like right away before they try to dilute the stock? Or I have no clue how exactly this works.
Yeah.
But we know that there's a poison pill in place where if anybody acquires more than 15%, then the board of directors will trigger something that dilutes the shares. Now, one angle where this kind of gets crazy, what the media is not really talking about, but another angle that I wanted to give, so we're not just completely repeating the media, but this is actually a 2016 article. But this article talks about how Twitter actually pays their employees in stock more than most companies do.
Wow, man.
So in 2016, as compensation, they paid out $680 million worth of stock to their employees.
Oh my goodness.
As this headline says, a stock plunge is bad for the employees. So if they exercise that poison pill, not only is it going to like screw over all the investors, but it's going to screw over all their employees because they pay so much out in stock. So this whole thing is just nuts. Like, and what does the board really get out of this? I mean, do they really want to like destroy the company just so they can continue to like censor people whose opinions they don't like? Like, that's what's so crazy about all this to me.
It's like the stance they're taking, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense how you would sabotage. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. Go Elon.
Do you guys see that the board doesn't own any stock? They don't really care about the company. I think they're just there for easy paycheck, man. That's what from what I've been reading.
Yeah, they had the percentages listed of the board's holdings, and it's like very, very minimal. Like I would dare to say they're probably not close to the top 100 holders, right?
Oh, they have like 0.0 something percent of the
yeah,
shares,
0.002.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. If it was something that you were a leader of and you believed in, you figure that would be represented in your holdings. But what do I know?
Right, but they do all make. Each board member has a salary of about $250,000, so they definitely want to cling to their positions. Because I doubt there's that much work in being a board member. You just vote up or down on, a bunch of nonsense issues. But yeah, so it's like, how far is the board willing to take this? I mean, are they going to? Are they really going to dilute the stock and screw over the investors and the employees? Like, it's a big game of chicken.
How far, Smokey, would you defend if you have this job, a $250,000 job where you don't have to do much?
If I'm doxxed, I'm probably not going to take it that far, right? There could be a lot.
Well, I mean, it's probably such an easy job for them. Just like you say, vote a couple of things. Probably they don't have to do much for the majority of the time, and just get paid a whole bunch of money.
Yeah,
and
there is legal liability. They owe a fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of the shareholders. Now, in the 1980s, the courts ruled that these poison pills were legal, which is just nuts because it's like, what's the point of having a public company? If the board can have this much centralized power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's extremely powerful. This poison pill. I don't think there's any company that has this in place. I don't think anyone has tried to actually take over the company. This is, I mean, it has its uses, right? If like you really don't want to be bought out, you really want to prevent hostile takeover. This is a key. This is a way to do it. So because so Elon gets to 15, they dilute, but so he'll be below 15 again. But the next time he gets to 15, they can trigger it again. So it's like this continual thing they can do until I guess they get sued, and the shareholders are like, okay, this is ridiculous. So this whole situation is pretty crazy. But Elon is showing that he's serious about it, and I think just like you're saying, Smokey, probably most people are on Elon's side. And if I was bored, just like, okay, easy days over, just let him take it. Let's go do something else.
Yeah. Now,
Let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Smokey. Is Elon too large of a figurehead to lose this?
I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of this area of law, but I think he's going to end up winning it. I don't know. I'm just going with my gut, though. I don't really have any deep analysis of this. So, like, the next thing to keep an eye on is May 25th. There's 2 board members up for re-election. So, Elon, obviously, one of Elon's next moves is going to be to put 2 of his own board members in. Now, there's 10 total board members, so having 2 of his own guys, it won't be that won't finish off the takeover or anything like that. But if these board members like lose in a huge landslide election and it shows that the public is really far against them, that's more public pressure that'll be put on the boards to just sell to Elon. I don't know enough about the law though about if these shareholders sue the board, what can they do? I mean, can they sue them for money, or can they just sue them to force them to sell the company? I really don't know. I mean, this stuff doesn't happen that often, does it?
No, this is like the first I've heard of it. And Christine made a comment and she said he holds a small circle. It will be planned, right? And I have to imagine that that's true, right? Like he absolutely has, an intent in mind, and he knows a lot more than any of the 3 of us do. And his circle is probably operating within some sort of an intent, and they know what the next move is, right?
Yeah. So are you saying that you don't think Elon will end up getting it?
No, I'm saying that I think that he may be too large of a figure. I mean, he's the wealthiest man in the world, okay?
Yeah.
And you have to admit that he operates in a I don't know, a noble fashion, right? Like he is not looking to damage any of the holders of the Twitter stock, right? He's not. He's just simply trying to change something, and he's going to be reasonable. Absolutely. I think the people that are scared are the ones who have the most to lose, which are the employees. Let's just face it. They're probably large bag holders in that organization, since they paid out so much to the employees over time. So they're sweating.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's the one guy that can do this. And I mean, the only people that don't want this to happen are, people obsessed with their ideology that want to censor people who have opinions that they don't agree with, and Twitter is just too big of a platform to let that go on for very long. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to be an optimist about this and just go with, I think Elon's going to take it over.
Me too. That's what I would say if we were taking a vote. Yep. What about you, Myron? Come on.
I want to see him take over to see what he does with it, man.
I'm with you.
Okay, so we'll go on to the next one. This is another social media story actually involving Coinbase. So Coinbase is making their own NFT marketplace, but it's also going to be a social media platform. Now, I guess Coinbase is reading the room right now because they're saying that they're going to allow any commentary. I don't know the exact setup or what kind of social media it's going to be, but it is going to be social media-like. And they're saying they're going to allow any comments that are legal. So I don't know. Is this something you guys would be interested in? Would you join a Coinbase social media platform that was also an NFT OpenSea-like marketplace? Myron, what do you think?
Dude, I love this, man. I love the comments on different things you can buy. That's why I love Webull. I go on Webull, the stock trading platform. I just troll on there all day, man. Like Robinhood, all you can do is just buy and sell. But Webull, you go on there, you can chat, you can post comments. And I think it adds a lot, man, because you have these like huge bag holder that's like posting there. He's like, oh dude, just wait, we got news coming out, it's gonna move. When you got like people on like SPY today, there's just people arguing if it's going down, going up. Bears laughing at bulls. When SPY pumps, all the bulls are like, where are the bears at? So I love having comments on these, man. Let's get some comments on these NFTs. Like Moonbirds, that right now it's like 30 ETH each. I don't understand why. Let me leave some comments on there, man. Let me flood the project. I just like, where you can talk with people a little bit, or just have a little bit more interaction than just buying and selling.
Yeah, I agree with that. That sounds like that actually would be fun to use, because OpenSea, I mean, it's, I guess, the best we got right now. But yeah, if you could actually comment on the NFTs and even make offers, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to negotiate an offer on OpenSea. So I think the social media function will be good for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mav?
Yeah, no, I think it's a positive thing, right? Though they're going to get a lot more they're going to have a lot more people participating, right? There are so many people at the elementary level of crypto that have downloaded Coinbase or crypto.com, and that's where they live, right? They don't really have any opportunity to purchase NFTs as we know them. So this would essentially open up a new circle, I think. So cool idea. I like your idea too, Myron. I know you're a fan of trolling. I do. I have my moments, right? Especially on Twitter and stuff. We all enjoy that. But yeah, I think it would open up new opportunities. Now, I haven't had time to read this, but is this like something where you could essentially list any types of NFTs on?
That's what I was wondering, like different chains, because Solana is popping off on NFTs right now.
Yeah,
I gotta imagine. I didn't see it on here if it was going to be certain chains, but as long as you start off with Ethereum, I mean,
yeah,
I think you at a minimum.
Christine said she already had. She loves NFTs on CB. Yeah, I thought she said she had. She has NFTs on Coinbase. So Christine, if you can comment back, if you can already buy it, is it Ethereum? Because none of us, I don't have a Coinbase account, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'll be excited to see it. Maybe I'll create a Coinbase account.
Hey, as long as it's not like a watered down version, like where you have very limited opportunity to pick stuff up. If it was more open source and you could truly purchase things similar to what you can purchase, say, on OpenSea, I think it's a big win. If it's more centralized and it's like, hey guys, you want the Coinbase NFT? No, I don't want the Coinbase NFT. I want this NFT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us Ethereum, give us AVAX, give us Solana, give the people what they want. And
absolutely.
This thing will be a huge hit, I think.
If we take 1 second real quick, because Mallet asked a question. What do you think of the Coinbase stock? Man, what a brutal stock. Kathy Woods bought it in the 400s, and now it's $135. I mean, how much further can this stock fall, man?
Coinbase stock's falling? Let me check it out.
No, it's been falling ever since the IPO. So what happened with IPO? The ticker name is COIN. So what happened with IPO is they didn't have any share lockups. Usually when you IPO a stock, you have share lockups, and so the executives can dump everything. But they didn't have it. That means they can sell as much stocks as they want. So the early investors, the executives, basically they say, hey, I can sell everything now and become a billionaire. And they did. So it opened at $400. Kathy Wood was buying all the way down, and now it's $135. Like it's absolutely insane, man. And you just kind of question that it's been falling even though the crypto it's going up. So I guess it has little bounces when Bitcoin bounced, but man, like this is brutal.
Yeah, this is insane.
Absolutely brutal. And when you look at chart like this, like you just don't know where the bottom is, right? Because it doesn't show you where the bottom is.
Yeah, that's a falling knife.
Yeah, so I mean I probably wouldn't touch it. Maybe you probably needs a good earning to make it bring out up again, or maybe have a crypto bull market. But the thing is, like, with the market the way it's looking right now, where most things are risk off, I just don't see that. I just don't see this coming back up in the anytime soon. In a couple of years, hey, maybe it's probably going to be worth a decent amount, right? But man, like, it's rough, man.
Yeah, that what's crazy is I bet you if you were to track Coinbase's user prowess, like how much they've increased year over year, and numbers of users and money on ramped, I bet you the chart looks completely different. And what's crazy about that is in typical markets or in typical business, if say like a Netflix, as the viewership rises, so does the stock, right? So does the money flowing in. Well, this doesn't mirror, I think, the overall company's success, which
Yeah.
is mind-boggling, right? Because that's the whole purpose.
Well, I mean, you could argue as a valuation, everything is kind of shaky on these things. I'm not a fundamental. I do fundamental, I guess, on a macro level, but not on these like, oh, look at the earnings per share with like all these PE ratios or whatever. I don't even know if you can do it for this company, but it's just it's crazy, man. It feels like the stocks that shouldn't be up is kind of going. I don't know, man. This market's crazy. How could it drop this much?
I mean, it's a pretty
It's
simple
amazing.
business model. They just take a cut of every trade. How can they not make money? Like QDA trade, people have been doing this for decades. So yeah, it's crazy that they're going down this much.
So the big bag holders, the board members rugged on everybody and totally
Pretty
just
much.
sunk the price.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, this was one of the hypest IPO, man. Like on the day of release, like I think everyone was trying to get a piece of this because this is like the first big centralized exchange that has a stock. But man, all I gotta say is Kathy Wood from ARG, man. Like I know she bought at 400s. I know she bought like down. I don't know if she bought more. I haven't been keeping track, but it's just the more you buy, the more it drops, man. All right, so yeah.
Christine's asking how AVAX will survive. You guys have any opinions on that?
I think she said it's like crabs. The game.
It says thoughts on crabs and will they move to subnet? I think she's talking about the crabs game.
Okay.
Yeah, Crabata that sucks up all that is like the number one reason for the high gas fees the majority of the time on the AVAX chain. So hey, Christine, that's news to me. I didn't know if I haven't heard anything about them moving to subnet. I feel like we should bring Christine in here. She's bringing up a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Smoke, you want to move on to the sad story?
Yeah. So my mind went to a dark place reading this. So the issue here is Russia wants to ban non-custodial wallets like MetaMask and things like that. And what I was thinking when I was reading this is, well, could you ban non-custodial wallets in a country? And tell me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like it would be kind of easy to do. Like if you're a government, all you got to do is tell a centralized exchange you can only transfer cryptocurrency from the centralized exchange to approved wallets, and any wallet that's not like a government approved wallet, the centralized exchange wouldn't be allowed to transfer the crypto to. Wouldn't it be that easy to ban a non-custodial
I think so,
wallet?
but the thing is, I guess you can always go to like other countries to do it.
Yeah.
To get it out, but I would think that it would just be as easy as that. Is that they say, hey, if you're operating within your country, nothing that comes through here you can get from the non-custodial.
Yeah. And you still want to convert to fiat. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. You still want to convert to fiat at some point. So even if you go to another country, you come back to your own country, the only way to convert to fiat is to go through a centralized exchange. So I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to do. I don't know, but I mean, if they did something like that, destroying custodial or non-custodial wallets is almost the equivalent to destroying crypto. I mean, it would just tank the price of crypto, anyways. And I don't know. I think crypto would find a way to adapt, but it would certainly hurt the market for probably a couple of years. It'd probably kill the market for a few years until things were developed. Peer-to-peer payment
Or are they trying to make it so everyone diamond hands the crypto you can't even sell?
Yeah.
That's essentially what you'd be doing, right? I mean,
Yep.
how? What other option do you have that turns it into play money at that point in time?
I saw
I
a
don't.
meme about this. It's like, it's like those levels of, it's like it starts with the brain gets like big, and it's like this enlightened kind of phase they're going into. First is like hold it for a couple of days, it's like hold it for more than a year to get the long-term tax. Then another one's like just hold it. Then the last one is like forget your seed phrase and hold it forever. I just find that meme, man. It's hilarious. But I think this is terrible. I do want to mention though. So do you guys know of what US did when FDR was president? I had to look it up. It's called Executive Order 6102. Makes you think like Order 66 or something. But basically this order says if you have gold, other than like if you have like rings and things like that, if you have gold, you have to turn it into the government by a certain date. And if you don't, it's like $10,000 fine, which is a huge amount of money. So to today's money, it would be like $200,000 or up to 10 years in prison. So FDR did this, basically took all the gold, and they gave them $20.67, which is $433 in today's money, which is not a lot of money. And I know that after he did it, after people handed it in, they like raised the price to like $30 or something like that. And I think this was a criminal act, honestly. I hate that this happened, and I don't think a lot of people even knows about it. And I think a lot of people think like FDR is this great president. But he did this, so they can technically, I want to segue into this where they can say, hey, guys, we'll give you this deadline. Move your crypto from non-custodial wallet to a centralized exchange, or one, you're not going to be able to move it. Two, if we find out something you try to move in later, we're going to fine you. We're going to jail you. I mean, that's kind of to the extreme, but hey, they did it for gold. And at that time, when they did that for gold, I mean, they took the wealth out of the American people, man.
Yeah, and I have been down that rabbit hole, and most of the gold that they got was in like bank deposit boxes, those lock boxes that people use, because people, like, if people had gold in their house, nobody was actually turning it in. At least that's my understanding. Like, people were just kind of like F you, but people lost a ton of gold in their lock boxes. So the lock boxes were like the centralized exchange of that era. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, hey, if you have it in a lock box. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. And the same is true with crypto. Yeah. But yeah, FDR had to get rid of all the gold dollars so he could just print money off for his Social Security plan. So.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the thing where they say, what if they come for the guns and things like that, right? And there's a meme that says, I lost all my guns in a boating accident. And the first time I saw that, this one guy, he was like showing off his AK online. He has like 20 AKs, like something like crazy. And at the end, he's like, oh, except I lost all of them in a boating accident. At first when I read that, I was like, man, that sucks, man, to lose all your guns in a boating accident. Then I found out it was a meme. I was like, oh, dude, that's actually pretty funny.
Yep. I used to work with a guy that said, no matter what, I only own 2 guns.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we got another good stock story. This one is Netflix. So,
hilarious.
So Bill Ackman. Who is Bill Ackman, Myron, by the way?
Bill Ackman is a guy from Pershing Square. So I think his track record back in the day wasn't that great, but he made a massive trade during the 2020 COVID where he made like 20-something 6 million or something small into 2-point-something billion dollars. I might get the money wrong, but it was like tens of $millions into billions of dollars. So after that, he became like this legendary trader. But the thing is, he opened up that short position and he went on like CNBC, all these like TV shows, these interviews, and say, guys, the world is ending. Guys, this is like, like just like flooding it hard. And a lot of people blame him for that because people really got panicked out. And he benefits from people panicking and selling. But he made that legendary trade. I don't really like this guy, man, honestly. So when he bought Netflix a couple months back, when they missed the first earnings, where it dropped a huge amount, he's like, guys, I'm buying Netflix here. I think it's a great hold. So he bought it, and I was joking around with my friend. I was like, man, we gotta make Bill Ackman bag holder again. And hey, it happened. But he took it like a champ, man. Like people were thinking, like, would he average down? Because there was one position that he had. Actually, he did make some good calls. Like he has Domino's Pizza, which is up a whole bunch since he bought it. And one of his biggest wins is Chipotle. When he bought Chipotle, that thing dropped like a huge amount. I think like almost 50% or more. He averaged down and like tripled. So he made a huge amount of money on Chipotle. And people was like, hey, is he gonna average down on Netflix? Because he was like praising the CEOs and everything. And no, he just sold it all. Took a $400 million loss and just says, I'm out.
Hey, when Elon Musk's tweets about Netflix and their woke culture virus, I think is what he said just the other day. I mean, this happened literally 2 days ago. Then I don't blame him for dumping. Like he specifically made that quote, and you're like,
and we
okay.
wanted.
Look at this vicious troll, by the way. This is
Hey,
why people want
if you
censorship.
scroll up, can you see James Cramer's? Okay, yeah, Netflix fine. Okay, look, okay. So Jim Cramer, okay, dude, like everything he says to buy, just sell it. Everything he says to sell, just buy it. Reverse Jim Cramer. So basically, when he called it Netflix as a buy, I think it was $600, man. January 3rd. That's before the huge drop of earnings. And I think it only dropped like 2%. It was down like $14. He's like, oh, dude, I love Netflix here. Well, if you bought it then, you're down like 50, 60%.
Oh.
And he called Facebook too before the huge drop. He's like, Facebook, I love it. Like this guy, man, like everything he calls. So there's a company that IPO'd called Didi. So he's a Chinese ride-sharing company, pretty much the Uber of China. When Didi IPO'd that thing like $10, $12 or something, Jim Cramer is like, dude, I love Didi. Buy as much as you want, like buy as much as you can. So you pumped to like $15, maybe it went to like 17, but now it's $1.80, man. So if you bought that, you're down like 90%. So Jim Cramer, good job, man. Like I don't know how you keep your job. Maybe he's just like this is what he does. But I want my refund, man. Please reach out to me.
There was a great tweet. I don't remember who tweeted it, but he said,
"Oh man, Carl Icahn shirt. Oh dude, this is a huge guy too, man."
Yeah,
Wow.
there was a tweet out there that said we need a reverse Jim Cramer ETF
Jim Cramer,
more than we need a Bitcoin ETF.
Oh man, dude, you'll be printing, man. But Carl Icahn, this is a guy that does hostile takeover, man. So that's crazy. So he sold it. I mean, Netflix was down 35% yesterday. Today's like down another 3%.
So this is a 2015 tweet.
Oh, this is 2015.
Yeah, and so now he's saying,
okay. So he sold it at a wrong time then.
Yeah, and so Zero Hedge is saying that Ackman bought what he sold in 2015, and now he's asking if Icon's buying back if Icon's buying back what Ackman sold today.
If you guys don't know, Icon and Ackman, they hate each other. So what happened was Ackman opened a huge short position on Herbalife. He's like, it's an MLM, it's not really a legit business. It's, all this, which I agree with. But so he opened a huge short position and I think it was doing okay for a little bit. You know what happened? Carl Icahn comes in. He's like, I'm long on Herbalife. Herbalife is a great company. And he squeezed Ackman so hard. Ackman lost a lot of money on that. And they hate each other, man.
Oh man. Well, these are big boy games. So why do you guys think Netflix is going down? Do you think people just don't like it anymore? People are canceling the subscription, or is someone just squeezing the market?
They pulled out of Russia.
Okay.
So they lost millions of people from there, and I think from this stat I saw, Russians watch a bunch of Netflix too. So I guess you pulled out Russia, so they're fighting against Putin. Like, okay, you're not doing a thing, so good job, I guess.
So silly.
But the sad thing about this, man, is the CEO, he sold $50 million worth of stock November or October, like at the top. So the people getting hurt is not the executive team, man. It's the people, your mom and pops that's buying this. It's the retail buyers, and it's like everyone else. Like these big CEOs, they've been dumping stock for a long time. Not Elon Musk. Mark Zuckerberg has been dumping stock in 2020, like every single day. With 2021, like one of those years, he's been selling stock every single day. So he missed all this drop. Like they cashed out. They're all good. it's us, like the common people, that's getting hurt.
Yeah. So you think it's mostly just pulling out of Russia and
It's that, and like after you have so many subscribers, you can't get
Yeah,
more
you gotta-
subscribers. Like
That's
everyone
right.
who wants Netflix has Netflix.
Yeah, they've essentially hit their viewership runway, right? The end of their runway. I'm not saying completely, but hey, they're the largest paid subscription, TV paid service out there. So it's like, I guess, now I think in my mind, Myron, like, yes, Russia's a piece of it. I think it's silly that they thought they were going to stick it to Putin and pull out, right? Like, come on. Like, who are you really hurting? You think Putin gives a crap? No, they don't. Uh, it, so, but I think it has a lot to do with there's a million options out there now. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's be honest. Their content has changed significantly. You can look around on the internet. You can find images of the quality of shows that they're choosing to put out now, and a lot of people are off put by it. And
Yeah.
somebody that we've all talked to here in the recent past has admittedly dropped them for moral reasons and for
Uh-huh.
personal
Yeah.
beliefs. And honestly, I think the country is, at least the large majority, is against this woke
degenerate.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is, man.
yeah. It's like, hey, it directly contradicts
It's just
the
too
the
in your
values of
face.
our country, right? And
Yeah.
it's like people are slowly starting to wise up to it. So it's a culmination of things in my mind.
Christine's talking about my PFP, and that's me. Like that's actually what I look like. So stop hating, Christine. And he said my PFP looks like it drinks mojitos out of a straw. That's a rare insult.
Oh, that's
What
good.
is the last big hit that Netflix has had?
Squid Games, I think
Yeah,
that's
Squid
what I
Game
can
was, and Squid Game
remember.
was great. I loved that
Yeah.
show. Yeah, I guess Squid Game was the last one. Like Ozark season 4 was kind of a
Oh
bust. I
yeah,
loved,
Ozark is kind of, yeah. I guess that's kind of
like,
big
it's
too.
not believe. I love any TV show where it's average person gets mixed up with the cartel. Like I'll watch it. I'll watch those forever. But
But what
season
other ones
4,
can you think of? Like I can't think of it. I guess Stranger Things, but like these ones are like,
Breaking Bad.
yeah. No, they didn't make that. Like I'm
Oh
talking
no,
about the
no, yeah,
ones
yeah.
they made. And another issue that I read about Netflix is they said they are hiring these like big stars like The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, like these big stars to make the movies, which cost a lot of money. And like for theaters and stuff, for movies, you get a lot of people watching in theater, and you pulling like a couple $1 billion or hundreds of $1 millions, and you make it back. But for this, it's like if you produce the movies, you're still gonna have the subscriptions, right? Like the subscriber is not paying extra to see these movies, so you're not really
That's right.
getting the money from
Yeah.
hiring these big stars. So but the person saying that Netflix shouldn't be trying to get these big stars. What they should be doing is like building new stars for cheap, but be so good at creating it that it's more, I guess, financially reasonable that way. Because and a lot of people, even if you watch a movie now, I think what people do is like they'll buy it for a month or whatever, and they cancel it. Wait until they get the next thing that comes up, and maybe they'll buy it for another month. But Netflix has created some stars, right? Like I think the one from Stranger Things, that little girl got really famous because Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And I think like you said, Ozark, that girl, I don't remember her name, but I think she got pretty famous because of Ozark, because of Netflix. Like she wasn't well known before that.
Yeah,
So
the curly haired
Yeah,
redheaded
she was
yeah,
girl.
great.
Yep.
exactly.
She did a
Yeah, so
great job.
it's like I think the whole business model is just a failure from the top. And we're a crypto show, but we got off topic on this, but it's like interesting, man. Like
Well,
these things are
it's
huge.
slow news in the it's
Yeah,
slow news for crypto this week.
yeah, but it's interesting. It's funny. I like to see Acumen lose money, so it's
Uh,
good week.
if Netflix knew it was good with them, right? They would create these blockbuster style movies. They could still spend the money, and then they would feature them in movie theaters first. And then
Yeah,
after they were
yeah,
done at the movie theaters, the only place you could watch it was on Netflix. That would make sense. That would
yeah.
bring in additional revenue, still be value add to the people that held the Netflix subscription. But the way that they're doing it, I think you're right. They've spent a lot of money on Sandra Bullock and several others, very big name actors and actresses that's cost them more money than they really need to pay.
Mhm.
Do you think is there a woke problem with Netflix?
Oh yes.
Like, do you think the content's like more boring because it all kind of becomes I don't know, it's kind of like it's all the same, once you get
It's
woke creativity in it,
yeah.
all the characters start to feel kind of the same, and things like that. Do you think that's part of it, or?
It is. And I don't want to talk politics and kind of give you my idea of what's right and wrong, but when you're hosting or when you're featuring shows where the cover shows a man that's pregnant with his wife standing behind him holding his belly, I start questioning the quality of content and the purpose behind why you're doing what you're doing. So hey, one show that I can praise them about is Fuller House. I loved it. My girls loved it. It was a throwback to the past. If they threw more content in there and less content about people meeting on islands half naked, or I
Yeah.
mean, just the crazy content that they're featuring on there now, I think people would feel more at home, more invited, and find it more value add to their families because,
Yes,
that's
some
what.
of these shows are basically like softcore porns. It's like, what if I want to watch a show with like my parents or my grandma or something, and then they just break out in like some overly graphic scene, It's like, come
Oh
on.
my gosh. I walked home one evening, or I say walked home. I drove home one evening. I had been away for several days for work, and I walk in the door, and you should have seen what was on the TV that my wife was watching. I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Netflix." I'm like, "Are you sure? Because it doesn't look like Netflix to me."
Oh man.
Yeah.
Do we have one
All
more
right.
article, or is that?
No, that's it. So I guess we can. Yeah, that's all I have to talk about. Does anyone have anything else?
No,
No.
I don't have anything else. I think actually Draco mentioned I think he sent a video yesterday. It's like people moving coins off of exchanges for Bitcoin. I think that's actually bullish. So, and if you guys watch, what's that guy? Benjamin Cole? No, what's his name? Well, this is one YouTuber. He makes pretty good videos, like just about the statistic of Bitcoin, things like that. There's a whale that he tracks. It's the third largest wallet for Bitcoin, and the top two is like exchanges, so we don't really care about that. So the guy like sells Bitcoins when it's like up. So like the last rally up into the 46,000, the guy was like selling a little bit of Bitcoin, like 15,000, but which is not a lot because he has hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. So he like sold a little bit there. So when it drops, and like he'll load up. So he's been timing it decently well. Like he doesn't catch the tops and the bottoms, but he's been doing it pretty well in terms of his trading. I think he's slowly starting to load up again on Bitcoin. So hopefully, man, we'll see a little bit of green. But yeah, it's pretty painful right now with the general market and everything. But just got stay strong, or just be patient and wait for a good entry, or have a plan, whatever you're doing.
It's good advice. Be patient. When in doubt, do nothing.
Yeah. Don't
All
listen to
right.
Jim Cramer. Do the
Yeah.
reverse of what he says.
Well, all right, everybody. Well, it's been a good night. We'll be back on Tuesday or on Monday at 8:30 Central Time. So until then, have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend.
Yep. Thanks, guys. See you in a week.